The first question I need to ask both of you is, how do you know each other?
Oh gosh, so many years. I used to work for the Bush Call campaign. We're talking about 1988. And in the political circles you all meet. And that's how I got the chance to meet Senator Dole. I was so honored to have that opportunity.
Yeah, and we were working on violence against women, I don't know how many years ago.
It's about 26 years now on my side.
Right, so this has been a very long-term commitment for both of you, this issue.
Yes.
Right, I think in the first violence against women bill we passed in the Congress was struck down by the courts.
Correct.
And then Ludy and others came back and we finally got one that was okay. Well, I was in Congress a long time, and for years this topic was never discussed. We never talked about violence against women or children. And I took an interest in it through a friend of mine, Mary Will, George Will's wife, and she felt very strongly about the issue and got me interested in it in the Senate.
And that's how you came to know Ludy and became involved specifically with her employment agency.
Right.
Right, right.
It's the only one of its, it's the first one of its kind, and it was established by Ludy.
And you've been around the congressional circles and all of these circles for many, many years. And yet it doesn't seem like the numbers get much better as far as statistics about violence against women. I mean, 1 in 4 women are going to be sexually abused or physically abused in their lifetimes. Every 15 seconds, a woman is beaten by her husband. It's kind of staggering when you think about it. Have we evolved at all as a nation in this?
Well, when I look back on it, I think we've moved forward a little, but not enough. And we're still a long way from the goal that Dr. Green and others have hoped to reach, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and Ludy, you've written a book called Ending Domestic Violence Captivity, A Guide to Economic Freedom. Senator Dole, you endorsed this book.
Right.
Who do you think should read it?
I think obviously people in public office should read it. Educators should read it. Teachers should read it. Women should read it. Probably wouldn't hurt for a few men to read it too. But it's a guide to things you can do, and again, how long has it been out, Ludy?
About 6 weeks.
So it's brand new. Did you bring a copy?
Correct. We have it here.
What a great setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrific. And when we talk about the title, Ludy, what do you mean by domestic violence captivity?
Captivity means powerless. Women who have been trapped in abusive situations, in battered and abused for so many years. And unfortunately, they start feeling that they're prisoners of their own environment and they cannot make any decisions of their own.
And did you write this book for a specific reason? I know that Senator Dole was saying that educators should read it and people that have some opportunity in the community to build a foundation for these kinds of things. What was your purpose for writing the book?
Totally, my purpose is to share the model of my organization, Second Chance Employment Services, as Senator Dole said, the first and only employment agency in the United States for domestic violence and human trafficking victims. So my purpose now is that these people in the communities will replicate the model around the United States.
What drives you? I mean, this has been, like you were saying, a 26-year commitment to this subject, and yet you hear these terrible stories. I mean, what keeps you going?
This is my life mission. I grew up in a home of abuse. My mother died from that. And I feel that women have to have a chance, and children like me, like when I was a child. So I don't want to see that anymore. I want to see violence being exterminated from society. And every time I see a woman coming out of Second Chance with a new life, it's a hope for me every day.
Senator Dole, you've been a champion for the underdog all of your life. This is a wonderful purpose for you. If you could ask lawmakers to do something to make this situation a little better, a little easier, what would you encourage them to do?
I'd go back and look at the present legislation to see if it can be updated with the help of people like Ludy, and things that we may have missed that should be included. And I really believe it would have bipartisan support. I don't know who on either side could oppose legislation that would improve the situation. Well, I'd get an agenda. I'd have 4 or 5 issues that I could talk of that I was for, instead of 4 or 5 issues that I might be against. That may be valid, but I think you have to have a forward-looking agenda to resonate with the American voter. And certainly, I think, well, maybe not a primary issue, domestic violence is something that needs to be addressed.
So, Ludy, you've been very fortunate to have someone like Senator Dole in your inner circle for all of these years. And is there anything that you would like to say to him, or any message you would like to give him?
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've been a blessing, a wonderful mentor. And thanks to you right now, I can change the life of so many women.
Thanks for the candy, too.
And Ludy, tell us one more time about your book and where we can find it.
Well, you can find it in Amazon, as well as Barnes & Noble, and also on my website, ludygreen.com.
Right. And the name of the book is Ending Domestic Violence Captivity. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank Dr. Green for all of her work.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Senator Dole.